Welcome to the OKC Metro edition of Varsity alongside Ryan Aber. I am Bob Przybylo, and now we're looking at the Class 4A championship between Star Spencer and Douglas. It's really strange, I think, that had Star lost to Glenpool, this would have been a first-round matchup. Is there really a favorite in this one?
I don't think you can call either one of these teams a favorite. Douglas won the regular season meeting in a close game. Of course, the difference is that Star Spencer didn't have Terrence Olds, who's rushed for over 1,000 yards. They got another running back who's well over that. I think this is as much of a toss-up as you can get. And yeah, it is stunning looking at it and looking at the playoff pairings to think that one game goes a different way, and these teams are meeting in the first round. Now, for the first time ever, two Oklahoma City public school teams are going to meet for a state championship.
Kind of talk about that more. How important is that to the school system to have this type of accomplishment?
I think it's big. This Oklahoma City Public Schools has long been known as a basketball powerhouse. You know, every year you talk about 5, 6, 7 teams making the state boys basketball tournament. Not a lot of football tradition. Douglas has some. There are a couple other schools. John Marshall has had some. But Star Spencer has only been to a state championship football game once, and they finished as the runner-up that year, and that was well over 40 years ago. So certainly this means a lot, not only for these teams, Star Spencer and Douglas, but also for the Oklahoma City Public Schools football programs. Athletic Director Phil Ingersoll has really put an emphasis on growing these football programs, giving them the resources that they need, and it's clearly showing this year.
Does it come down to basically who can run the ball the best? I mean, this game features a litany of great backs. With Star, you have Old and Darren Rideau, and then with Douglas, you have Forbes, you have Quentin Neal, and you have Cobb. Is it that simple, or is there something more?
Well, I think it in a lot of ways comes down to that, who's able to run the ball successfully. It's also about who's able to not turn the ball over. Both these teams in their losses have been really plagued by turnovers. They've gotten that corrected in the postseason, but certainly especially against defenses that are as physical as these two, you think that maybe turnovers are a possibility. So I think that'll be the key.
Well, Saturday night at Boone Pickens Stadium, we're both going to be there. What's your pick for this one?
Well, I'm going to stick with who I picked before the postseason started, and that's Star Spencer. I just think with the size that they have on both lines, just massive linemen up there. Joe Christian, the smallest of those linemen, is actually their leader. Then they've got guys behind him. Terrence Olds, like you talked about, rushed for well over 1,000 yards. Darren Rideau is well over right at about 2,000 and had 200 yards the other night against a pretty good Sallisaw defense. I just think they've got a little too much weapons for Douglas, but I'm not really confident about that.
I'm with you on this. I thought that Star had the defense to win it, but what I've noticed is they also had the offense to win it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm sure you are. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Varsity, but check us out every day at newsok.com/varsity for the best high school coverage in the state.